Hey, how you doing? Hope you guys are doing good. What's up? What's up? How are you doing? Happy full moon. Today's a Leo full moon. Yeah, man, we're just gonna be doing a timeless love reading, even though it is timeless. It is a Leo full moon, so we'll see what comes out. Yeah, if you want to book a personal reading, everything is in the description. I will never contact you in any way, shape, or form. The only way to book a reading with me is to send me an email or DM me on Instagram. Both of those are in the description. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that's been showing me love on the new single. I really appreciate it. It's been a really nice release. Really appreciate all you guys and all the support. If you do want to hear the new single, it is titled The Magician. It is in the description as well. It's in the link tree, and then you basically can go to your platform of choice. So that said, man, I'm not going to take too much more of your time. We are going to take a deep breath, say a prayer, and hop into the reading. I pray to God, Spirit, my guides, my angels, and my ancestors to help myself, the collective, and anybody watching to see the clearest messages for the highest good of all involved in our love and relationships for a timeless love reading. So we're going to be starting out, with the Hieronymus Bosch Tarot today. We're just going to go with it and see what happens. Go with the flow with the readings and see what comes about. I feel like I had a story I was going to tell you guys. Like, there was something I was going to talk about. I don't remember what it was. It's like it's gone. I don't know. There was something I was going to say. I don't know where it is. I'm a little tired, but that's just because I just like woke. I've been trying to wake up earlier. I've been trying to fix my sleeping schedule, so naturally I'm a little more tired, however you want to say it. All right, so we did enough shuffling. Let's go ahead and do the this kind of shuffling, and did not waste much time at all. Okay, we'll take these. So bottom of the deck we have the Queen of Birds. It says dull outlook, austerity, piety, and knowledge. We have the Knight of Swords, which is companionship, victory, and perseverance. We have sin of lust, sex, passion, extravagance, and excess. Baron of Birds, theft, concealment, running away. So, yeah, no, this is pretty on brand for what came out for the Instagram reading, which you guys will be seeing it as a short before I post this video. But it essentially has to do with like needing to protect a relationship, not being afraid to embark on a new direction or embark in this relationship, but understanding that there are going to be people around you that may not be happy about that. It's kind of what I'm seeing here. I feel like I probably can't even show the card because of the whole, I don't know if you guys know, but YouTube's, I guess, been emailing tarot readers talking about nudity on cards, so I'm trying to be careful. They haven't said anything to me yet because I don't really show cards like that, but gotta be cautious. So can't show the dudes behind apparently, but all good. So, well, I mean you can, but they'll probably just age restrict your videos. I don't know, so it doesn't really matter at this point. So let's see. Sin of Lust, and then we have the Baron of Birds. Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and read Baron of Birds from the book because I don't think we've gotten Baron of the Birds before. The only thing is I can't really like hold it up for you guys to see, but we'll hold up, I don't know, we'll hold up like a different card, I guess. Baron of Birds. I just want to see what it says because I'm not sure if I've read it before. It says, a man wearing a helmet carrying two birds on his right arm flees in a crouching posture. In his left hand there appears to be a dead bird. The Baron of Birds is a thief who doesn't want his deeds to be known. The birds on his arm are his accomplices. Their piercing yellow eyes and black feathers are not judging him for what he has done. The Baron's crouching posture helps conceal the plunder in his left hand, a dead bird that his little friends may have attacked. This card represents deceit, theft, running away from your responsibilities. So this can come through a few different ways. Initially what I'm seeing is obviously, face value. We're taking this card. This could just be people around. We got temptation that came out as well. I don't know if I can show this card. There's not like technically nudity. I guess it's nudity. I guess. So I'm like trying to be careful now what cards I show. How can I do this? Anyways, so that's kind of what I'm seeing here, man. It's a situation where I feel like either the person that you've been dealing with has been tempted by people around them. There have been temptations. There have been this could have just been of somebody who has acted upon their lustful impulses. And if this is somebody that you're in a relationship with and you have a reasonable, what's the fucking word I'm looking for? If you have a probable cause of, or a reasonable reason to believe, there's a word I'm looking for. It's not reasonable doubt, because that doesn't make sense. If you have actual proof and evidence of this person being, like in committing infidelity or anything of the sort, then this would be a confirmation for that. If you don't have any idea at all, and there's no issues with your person, there's no signs of this, take it at face value, and please throw it out the window, because I don't want you to project these readings onto situations where they don't exist. It's really easy to do that if you're looking, like, it's like confirmation bias. Like if you have fears that come up surrounding that kind of stuff, and then you look for it at every possible turn, a lot of the times that's also a way of self-sabotaging, as we look for these things as a way to, I don't know, it's a way of seeking comfort subconsciously. I think we tend to look for them, and we tend to subconsciously sabotage these beautiful manifestations of relationships in our lives. But the reason I say this is because we do have the Queen of Birds, and then we have the Knight of Swords, right? And so that to me is just like gaining clarity on something. I feel like if you're suspecting that, this is going to be the clarity coming in for you, right? If this is something where these are people doing this to you, and you're going to be gaining clarity on the intentions of those people. But the other thing that was coming through, which I feel like is more of the major energy of these cards, has to do with people who are essentially just jealous of the connection, jealous of the relationship, and that jealousy comes from a lack of self-worth and all those kinds of different things, and the trauma, the issues, and all the stuff that people project onto you in your relationship. This was basically what was coming out in the Instagram reading, or in the short that you'll be seeing. It's that energy of just like sitting back, letting people do what they do. I mean, we are in the Leo full moon, right? And it's going to be in Leo likely for a few days now. If it hasn't already been, it's usually the moon stays in a sign for about 3 days. Okay. I feel like if that is the case, this is going to be a successful outcome for you, because we have the Knight of Swords. The story of the Knight of Swords is essentially them going on the quest for the Holy Grail. If you guys remember me speaking about this, the Holy Grail is symbolic of reclaiming the divine feminine. That could be one way of looking at it. So this could just be you really stepping into your divine feminine energy, whether or not you are male or female or otherwise. It's not gender specific. This is the energy where you're essentially reclaiming your power from people who may have just been approaching you in a lustful way. This is also what I'm seeing. This could be somebody who has approached you in a lustful way, knowing either that you're with somebody, or that, I don't know, maybe they don't know if you're with somebody. Maybe they just see you as like somebody to win over. They see you as a conquest, something like that, right? Something where they're just kind of like, it's their own personal, it's something that would like essentially fluff their ego or fuel their ego by moving forward, trying to get you into some kind of commitment, trying to trap you with a baby, whatever it is these people be doing out here. I don't really get involved with that kind of stuff, so I can't really say. All I know is I see these things in readings all the time, and you read stories on the internet all the time. And I guess I suppose I have experienced these to a degree, but it just really depends on your situation, right? Let's pull some more cards. I don't want to focus too much on that energy. I guess more than anything, man, a final takeaway for these cards is just to realize that sometimes people come around you with that sexual energy, and it's not always in your best interest. You know what I mean? So if you have options in relationships, or you have choices, it's just recognizing that like now's a really good time to get clear with where it is you're going. Really reclaim that divine feminine energy. Is this connection what you're actually looking for? Are these people around you people that are actually supporting you? Do they want to see you do well? This has been a theme, a major theme for the past 2 readings. This would be the 3rd reading this has come out. We're going to go ahead and move to a new deck. I want to use the Sorcerer's Tarot. I am actually quite drawn to this deck today. I was going to start the reading with it, but then I just wanted to start with the Hieronymus Bosch Tarot. Oops. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some pulls. Sorry, I'm like still waking up. when I do my readings, I basically just wake up, and then I wake up, I get ready, and then I just come out to do my reading. So I don't. It's like, how long ago is? I don't even know what time it is. It's probably only been like 2 hours, if that, since I've been awake. So I'm still waking up. I haven't even really had my coffee. I still got like pretty much most of my coffee. I don't really drink too much of it while I'm doing the reading, anyways. So that way I can just not have to go walk to the restroom. I can just go back to the pad and use the restroom. You feel me? So let's go ahead and shuffle these up. What messages do you have for a spirit? Give thanks to my guides, angels, and ancestors. Because it does seem like this is a continuation of you entering into a new relationship. You know what I mean? That's what has been coming through. So, excuse me, guys. That is what has been coming through. Let's see, though. We have the Hanged Man at the bottom of the deck. Oh my god, sorry, guys. Like, when I drink my coffee in the morning, sometimes it brings some shit out of me. So, we have 3 of Swords, 7 of Cups, 8 of Wands, King of Cups, Strength, Ace of Pentacles, back to the 3 of Swords. This is basically what was coming out, man. Somebody is not happy about you moving on. Okay, I feel like you're moving on. You're moving towards something new. I feel like a new situation or opportunity has been presented to you. And I don't feel like this is related to the past opportunities that we've been tapping into. This feels like something new. This feels like something where all of that stuff that we had coming through in the past, it's just one of those things where I feel like you've made adjustments, and it's because you've grown, and as you're growing, you're making adjustments to the relationships around you, reevaluating your surroundings and trying to determine whether or not these people around you are actually for you. And I feel like as you come to those realizations, you make those decisions to move in new directions. It's kind of this energy where you've really taken the time to gain the wisdom. Okay, this is the card of gaining wisdom to me when I see the Hanged Man. It can be the card of lack of movement. We can look at this one of 2 ways. This is you gaining wisdom on a past situation, gaining wisdom on maybe you have options and now you're seeing that some of those options really weren't good options. Not all options are good options. And then this could also be a situation where you're not seeing growth in this direction. You're not having, maybe you have it here with you, but it's not moving forward yet because there are still things that need to be let go of from the past. There could also just be people coming back around trying to meddle in your business, trying to get insight into what your life is, what's going on, how you're doing, who you're seeing. This could be them getting people to come around you and ask you those questions. I would just be cautious about everybody that's around you, not paranoid, but just, be aware of just, people's intentions. And regardless of whether it's family or friends or romantic partners or exes or coworkers or bosses, always stay on your toes. Always, always, always. I'm just telling you from experience, man. I have had the people closest to me that I trusted the most do me the worst, okay? And it's not to I'm not trying to trauma dump on you guys. I just want to use myself as an example that even if you trust somebody and you think you've known them and you know them for years, they can switch on you. You may really not know them. I'm sorry to say, people change, man. And it's like people are easily influenced these days. And so I hope I can use my experiences of betrayal to essentially get you guys to not experience those same things. But I also don't want to take your karma away from you if you have to experience those things as lessons. That's all to say that this is the type of energy coming through. Those kinds of things where it's really easy to be confused about the people around you. It's really easy when people come around and you have a bunch of options. It can be difficult to make a decision, right? But I don't really feel like you're having issues making a decision. I think more than anything, it might just be hard to let this go. And this doesn't always mean that it's hard to let the person go. I feel like it has to do with the pain. I feel like there's still some lingering pain from whatever this situation was here, right? Whatever this King of Cups, it could be, a water sign if you want to go into that. I don't really do signs on this channel anymore because we have all the signs in our chart, and there are different modalities of astrology. There's sidereal, there's Vedic, there is tropical. I believe sidereal and Vedic are the same thing. Aside from the point, this could have been somebody who's very emotionally manipulative, okay? This is why I don't read reversals in this deck. Not only because I like the pictures in this deck, it's one of my favorite decks, but because it gives me an opportunity to really tap into what I'm feeling. And I'm feeling like this is somebody who has been very emotionally manipulative. This is somebody who's been very controlling. They come through and they show you the love and they show you the action and they say all the right things, but at the end of the day, they leave you feeling heartbroken and confused. And I think that needs to be recognized, man, because it's like, it's all good and great when you have somebody who's in their mature King of Cups energy and they're doing stuff like this and they're, holding it down for you and they're really, showing up for you. But then the fact that we have these surrounding cards is telling me, well, this is somebody who likes to cause confusion. Whether they know they do it or not, this is somebody who I feel like finds a sense of joy in bringing chaos into people's lives because, sometimes people thrive on chaos, man. That's just how it is. I'm not gonna shame anybody for living the way they live, but this is just to say that in order for you to really move into this direction, you're not going to be seeing the movement you want to see until you start setting better boundaries. Okay, that has been a major theme for us this year. Boundaries, expectations, cutting people off if necessary. We talked about this. You don't always have to go cold turkey. Some people don't have the option to go cold turkey. Sometimes you're just forced to be around certain people, whether that's through a living situation or through a work environment or a school environment. Sometimes you just don't have a choice unless you decide to just completely move to a new space, get a new job, or just drop a class, or just, you know what I mean? But some people also don't have that choice. Some people don't have the luxury of picking up and moving as soon as something isn't right in their living environment. Sometimes you have to deal with certain things, and that is just a part of life. That doesn't mean that you cannot overcome them, but it's to say that, take the necessary steps for you to do that, okay? I'm going to continue with this deck. I'm feeling really called to this deck today. We're going to go ahead and get some advice here for you. Because like I said, man, I feel like there's a new opportunity here for you. It's something that's solid. I feel like something that you're going to actually really enjoy. But it is going to take you letting go of, that past pain and just being okay with how people try to meddle. And not saying to accept it and tolerate it, but understand that that's just going to be a part of life. Especially like we've talked about when you're leveling up and you're doing things, you're stepping into your power, you're following your dreams, regardless of how that looks on the external, regardless of what people do or say, the fact of the matter is people are going to notice. It's going to trigger people, especially if they're not ready to do those things or they are too afraid or whatever their reasoning is. It's when you do things like we do here on this channel, like the people I tap into, when you do the things that you do, it's going to trigger people, man, and it's going to trigger their shadows, and it can get really ugly and really messy. And that's kind of why I like to advocate for just boundaries in general, because honestly, man, it can get really, really, really messy, as you guys have seen in these readings. So bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Cups, and a lot of these cards did come out in the Timeless Love message as well. We have the King of Wands, and then we have the Ten of Wands, okay? So I feel like this, again, we do have the Two of Cups here under the bottom, on the bottom of that as well. I don't think I can technically show that, even though we've showed it in the past and never really said anything about it. But then under that, we also have the Four of Wands, and then we have the Emperor, okay? So that's kind of what I'm seeing, man. Somebody here is walking away from those burdens. I think this is just a reiteration of that message. But now I feel like we're looking at this from another perspective, from maybe somebody external to you, okay? If this is a masculine counterpart or a divine masculine that you're dealing with, this could be a twin flame situation. This could be soulmates. I mean, we do have Two of Cups, Four of Wands, and then we have the Emperor here. This could be like a masculine counterpart or a masculine energy. Again, not gender specific. That is also realizing this. So keep in mind, when in these divine connections, a lot of the times both people feel the connection for sure, but then both people also realize that there is work to be done in order to bring this together. And I'm not seeing that it doesn't feel like there's not a willingness to do it. I feel like whether that's you or them or both are likely mirroring each other in the sense that you guys know that the things that you've been through have been extremely toxic and difficult. They've been very burdensome, right? You've been through a lot. You both have been through a lot, and I feel like you're gaining the wisdom on that. It's the need to see the higher perspective of what you've gone through and to understand that it's taught you what you needed to know to allow you to be comfortable with taking these steps, right? But if we're looking at, I mean, it's just the type of energy that keeps coming through. I do feel like there's a lot of different people around you and your person that are, I wouldn't even say directly influencing the connection, but it's just there is the potential for that to happen. And that's why I feel like I'm being guided to speak on the fact that you need to protect this connection, protect your blessings, set better boundaries, stay quiet about what you're doing. You know, you don't got to tell everybody your plans, man. Like you don't even got to tell your best friend your plans. Like sometimes, like for me personally, dude, I don't tell anybody anything of like personal things that I'm doing until it's like right about to be done. Like I didn't even tell y'all about, you know, my single being released until it was like submitted and dropping in like a day or two, right? Like it's that kind of energy where like sometimes people, they may be well intentioned, but their fears and their projections can get in the way of whatever it is you're trying to manifest, you know? And just from personal experience, man, I've had people in the past do that to me where they project their fears and they try to push me in certain directions, you know, and they were well intentioned, but these are people that don't understand the type of work that I do. They don't understand where that can go. These aren't necessarily people that are in a space that I want to be in, okay? And that's what I'm seeing here too. Is the person around you, are they a King of Wands or are they an Emperor, right? And I feel like that could be you needing to make a decision between two people. If you have multiple options in your life, really take time, man. Take the time out that you need. Take the space you need. Reflect. Reflect on how these people make you feel. Here's a good exercise to do. If you are currently in contact with somebody or multiple people, pay attention to how you feel before you interact with them. Pay attention to how you feel while you're interacting with them, and then pay attention to how you feel afterwards. And just compare those two. I'm not saying compare the people, but compare those experiences and those interactions, and then look at why you're attracted to these people, right? That's why we have the Four of Cups. This is needing to look at the truth. This can be essentially trying to determine who is and is not in alignment with this true divine relationship, union, whatever it is you are looking to manifest. I just feel like there's a need to really, we got some pretty cool cars coming up. Let's take a listen. Are they coming around the bend? Yeah. Oh no, are they going? That's right. They got it stanced up and everything. This type. It's cool. Sorry, I just wanted to take a listen and a look. It was it was a bagged Lexus, man. He had I think he had his excuse me, he had a dual exhaust system on it. I think it was aftermarket too. He had the pops and the cracks and all that. It's pretty cool. Aside from the point, I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate it. But that's like I said, man, it's one of those things. I feel like that's a message in itself. This could be somebody who is very passionate and fiery and very electric. This could be somebody that is very attractive for those reasons, man. But I want you to ask yourself, why are you attracted to each of these people? What is attractive about them? Do they make you feel comfortable in your trauma? I guess I should say. We've talked about that. Like, are these people that you find comfort in because you're trauma bonding being you guys have been through similar traumas and you guys are sharing and bonding over your trauma as opposed to bonding in other ways, right? Really needed to take a look at that, man. Like, and I feel like that's kind of why we have this Ten of Wands and this Four of Cups here. I feel like you're reaching a breaking point where you're just like you're just tired of like having to deal with stuff like this, right? And so I think it's okay, man, to really just take time to yourself and like really focus on your happiness, dude. Like Four of Wands doesn't always have to be a union. This is, yes, the card of marriage, but this is also the card of home life. This is the card of what makes your home life feel like home. You know, making your home feel more like home. You know, sometimes home can be where the heart is, man. What's inside of your heart in a situation like this? What are you really feeling? What is your mind telling you? Can you combine those two and balance them out to help you make a decision that's going to be beneficial for you in the long run, right? Let's get some final advice. We're going to go back to the, what's the damn card? The Hieronymus Bosch Tarot. Okay. Let's see. Final messages here. Spirit, we do have like what? like 7 minutes. So we'll just close it out after this. We'll see what we get. Any final messages do you have for our spirits? Give thanks to my guides, angels, and ancestors. So we got 2 of these cards last reading. I dropped one of them. Okay. Yeah, so we actually got almost all of these. We got all 3 of these, and then this one we didn't get last reading. Bottom of the deck, we do have King of Coins, which is Pentacles in this deck. Hoarding, inheritance, unwillingness to share. We have Baron of Skates. We got this last reading. We have King of Berries. We also got this last reading. And then we have Christ Child, which we did also get last reading. The Christ Child being... damn, we looked it up last reading too. I read it from the book to remember what the card was, and I don't recall. It says birth, children, learning, and new beginnings. I'm just curious, man, because now, like, I literally looked it up last reading that we did, but I just don't remember what it is. But I feel like it's important for me to know what it is, so it's, where is it? The sun. Excuse me. Such an odd depiction of the sun, though. That's kind of my thing about it. It doesn't really feel like the sun card to me. So, yeah, man. I'm just looking like, it just looks like you have a choice to make, dude, because we have 2 people here again, okay? We have the King of Berries. If you remember anything about the King of Berries from last reading, this is somebody who, it's essentially a very supportive relationship. This is somebody who, berries being like an emotional suit, is very similar to vessels. It's like water and earth. This is somebody who is stable, committal, somebody who is actually like solid and willing to put in the work. But then you have the Baron of Skates, and this is somebody who goes around causing trouble for fun, right? And I feel like that's what we're seeing here, man. The sun is here, but it's between, you know, you either walking away from this kind of energy, not doing it yourself and investing in this, but understanding that, like, some people, man, they're really just here to try to use you for their own benefit, unfortunately. Yeah, this is the kind of energy where it's like, it's one of those things where you really got to kind of tap into your intuition in order for you to understand the options available to you. Not all options are good options, unfortunately. I mean, I guess that's not really unfortunate, because that would be confusing if you had like a lot of really, really good options and then you feel regret choosing one over the other. But I feel like you're just going to have to make a decision, man. And I can't really tell you which decision to make, because this is going to apply in so many different ways to so many different people. It's one of those things where you just have to really know yourself and the people around you well enough to make that decision. And that's just kind of what it is, man. Pay attention to who comes around when you're feeling a certain way, right? If you're feeling down and you're feeling sad, and then you notice a certain person tends to come around when you're feeling that way, even if they don't know you feel that way, I think it's important to take note of that. If you're feeling happy and good and excited, and then this other person comes around when you're feeling like that, I think that's important to note, because you're naturally attracting those people by your own energetic state, right? That's something I've noticed as well. I've had that experience where, like, I've had people come around when I'm not feeling so good, and then I've had other people come around when I'm feeling great. And I've noticed a pretty stark difference in the connections just based on that fact alone, and how things have gone from there, right? So I think that's probably where I'm going to leave it. We could get one more piece of advice, but quite honestly, man, we're starting to get repeating messages here. Let's just go ahead. We'll do, since we haven't done it in a while, we're going to go ahead and close out with the animal messages, because we've been closing out with tarot, and I want to close out with one of these. So let's see. All right, yeah. But I mean, dude, we are in the full moon. This is Leo energy. This is very... there's a line that came out as I'm shuffling. There are always shadow aspects to a sign, right? You know, Leo energy, as we've seen in this reading, is essentially that shadow aspect. We've seen both sides of Leo energy in this reading. We've seen the very vain, lustful, manipulative type of energy, and then we also saw the passionate, stable, and loyal type of energy. We got both of those, right? And so it's a matter of you needing to tap in, man. I know I keep saying the same thing, but really just be cautious about the decisions you're going to be making, whether that's cutting people off, setting better boundaries, moving into a new relationship. We didn't really get too much career energy with this reading. We had gotten a lot of that with the past few readings, but this seems like a pretty important decision for you to make here. So let's get some final messages. Give thanks to my guides, angels, and ancestors for anything that wants to come through. Okay. Bottom of the deck, funny though, we did get the lion. It says, yeah, right here you can see. It says, banish loneliness by reaching out to special friends. We have chameleon. And it says, conceal ambition with patience until it is time to make your move. So that's kind of what we were tapping into. Just the need to stay patient. The need to actually just really take the time to listen to your intuition, right? To not really tell everybody your plans, to everybody your secrets. I don't know what the hell. Oh, they're parking. I was like, there's a little carming going on. I'm not sure what they're doing. But yeah, man, it's the need, again, to not only stand up for yourself and stay strong in your convictions, but to just trust that, like, when the right time comes along, like, you're going to be able to make the decisions necessary for you to make, right? Yeah. The thing I'm noticing about the chameleon, too, it's like, it's really easy for people to conceal their own intentions, and you may not necessarily know somebody's true intentions, and that's to say to give it time. Give it time to see people's true intentions and their true ambitions of a connection, right? Yeah. If you're having a hard time making this decision, man, if there are people around you that you do trust, I feel like this would be a good time for you to, you know, tap in with them and like get advice on a situation, because a lot of the times if you have trustful people around you or trustworthy people around you, you can actually get some genuine advice from people that have been through similar things, and that's going to help you actually make those decisions further into the future. But I think I'm going to close out the reading. There's like a bunch of cars that are just parking and honking. They're all meeting up. It was like they're pretty excited. So I'm gonna close out the reading, and I'm gonna cut that off for you guys. Okay, you guys have a good rest of your day. If you do want to book a personal reading, everything is in the description. I will never contact you for a reading in any way, shape, or form. Yep, if you want to hear my new single, all of that is in the description as well. Pretty much everything is in the description. But that said, yeah, I love you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.